We are here with Captain Gary Beck, the inventor of Traden. Captain Gary, you have a new innovation that you've been thinking about, and you wanted to do a little interview today to get it down, kind of, I guess you could say, on video. What have you been thinking about? What's this innovation of yours?
In 2007, I invented what's called the Traden generation system. I use existing technologies configured in a different configuration to power a city, house, or subdivision with no fossil fuels.
So now you have a new big idea.
Not only do I have ideas, I have models that produce electricity that's already been graded and approved by a professor that teaches electrical engineering, who went over all of my drawings, seen my models produce electricity, and gave me an A+, pronouncing it revolutionary. His name was Professor James Fox.
What is this next thing for you?
Well, the Traden generation system, it's not that I've come up with a new means to create electricity. I've come up with a new means to create revolution, which is what you've got to have to create electricity.
Explain me what you mean by revolution.
Whenever electricity is produced, you have to turn the shaft to produce the electricity. I've designed a system that I can attach to existing technologies to turn the shaft 100% efficiently.
The trade-in.
With the trade-in generation system.
How do you propose to do this?
Well, that's kind of the trade secrets. But, however, being the fact that I'm using existing technologies, I can predetermine the watt, the kilowatt, or megawatt, or gigawatt that's going to be produced, which makes it perfect for third world countries, small islands, and launching the next industrial revolution within the United States.
And you were saying that you thought today would be the time to talk about this.
Most definitely. My nation needs jobs. Our people needs work. And after hearing President Trump's speech, I realized that all I've got to do is overcome a few small hurdles and get in the right position, and I will be able to put Americans to work. The fact that it's 100% efficient means that the technologies that already exist, they're going to want to retool because it's going to increase their productivity. Plus, there's numerous different benefits, this trade secrets that I have not brought out yet, but one of them is the fact that I can use coal with my systems. And I've come up with 4 different uses for coal that's never been done before, meaning that I can help the coal miners as well go back to work.
Do you mean it's built for coal, or is it in addition to also can use coal?
I can use coal in a couple of different models in a way it's never been used before.
So we've been talking about the idea here, but how do you make it efficient? Is it a mechanical invention? Is it geoelectrical?
It's a mechanical invention
Mhm.
that uses rules of nature that's already been proven. It's pretty simple. It's almost like you can't see the forest for the trees type thing.
Can you delve into that just a little bit more? Give me the big idea behind what made you strike lightning with this.
My creator gave me the ability to do this.
Okay.
This is the first time my pen touched paper when you see the A+ as an inventor.
What is it?
It's a new means to create electricity.
Okay. So we have the what, we have the why. Is there a design element you can share?
A design element that I can share. I can give you some math. How about that?
Okay.
The math being, if you take a train and it's on a railroad track, and you tilt that train on that railroad track, you're going to be able to make the determination of the speed the train is going to reach by the angle up till terminal velocity. Correct? Okay. Now once you have that, that's part 1. Part 2, once you know the speed that the train is going to reach, you're able to determine that this train is going to reach point A no matter what, unless acted upon by a force greater than hit. Correct?
Correct.
And that's the basis of it, without giving up any of my trade secrets.
Okay.
You know, if you take a train or a tank and it reaches terminal velocity, something with mass, it gives off a lot of energy when it stops.
And this is the Traden generating
That's
system.
some of the math
Some of the math.
dealing
Okay.
with the trading generation system.
What do you see as problems to this invention of yours, from the invention itself, and what could it generate? Too much electricity? Could it too much? It's not just
Problems
electricity.
I see
Power.
with this right here,
Mhm.
the only problems I see with it is that it scares the nation because they're worried and there's big money at stake with the oil companies and the gas companies and all this. But with my systems, I have set up an economic plan that will enable me to restructure the job fields in the gas and coal industry should they lose the jobs, which I don't think they're going to lose, because we're always going to need fossil fuels because everything has petroleum-based products anyway. And I'm not trying to take jobs, I'm trying to take and create green energy, which is what I've done. That means zero carbon emissions. And being the fact I can power a city means that I can set it up for a larger city, of course, a subdivision, or a house. Now, if third world countries, when I met with Mabu, with the Department of Energy of Bangladesh, I heard him say, and I heard them say to him that it didn't make sense to build a $1 billion nuclear plant if these people didn't have the money to pay for it. Then Mabu turned around and said, look, if we get the power plant, then we'll buy TVs, we'll buy VCRs, we'll buy that, and it'll kickstart our nation. It'll dig us out of the third world status. I explained to Mabu that I could take and grow as his country could afford to pay for it.
Okay. So you're saying this isn't just something for industrialized and already first world countries, but could be adopted worldwide, including in places that don't have a system yet in place.
Absolutely positively.
It's that fluidly puttable into a system or a non-system.
I've been working on this since 2007. When I first designed it, I designed it to power a city. Then they said they wanted it to power a subdivision, so I redesigned it. Then they said they wanted to power a house, so I redesigned it.
It's that scalable. You could have it literally sitting in someone's yard, you could say, or sitting outside of a place like
Exactly.
Miami or a place like Houston. Or
Exactly.
Interesting. So it is scalable to meet the demand. Now, I understand if you don't want to reveal your secret, how you achieve 100% efficiency. That's interesting. I can't wait to hear more. Was there anything else you wanted to say here, Captain Beck?
Yes. I would like to tell President Trump that if he will do just a little bit of research, he'll see the circumstances that I'm facing, and all I need is a little help to get in the right spot, and I can show and produce, and I will represent for the United States of America, and I will make America better than it's ever been before. I will put people to work in Chicago. I will put people to work in Michigan. I will put people to work in Alabama. I will put people to work from one end of this country to the other. I will set everything down with the leaders of all the fields, OPEC, GE, all these different people I will meet with, and we will come together and we will discuss it, and we will restructure the power grid of the United States of America. Plus, we will sell our systems to the world. These countries that are struggling, or these countries that are dealing with the nuclear, Japan, nuclear is one of the most dangerous ways that we can produce electricity if we have an accident. And accidents, unfortunately, do happen. This is very safe. And like I say, coal, I use coal in 4 different ways that's never been used before. So we will be able to take my system and we will use these new methods for coal, which will put more Americans to work.
One last question. You said that this is scalable to individual homes as well as to nations and cities. You said you designed it or redesigned it for a
Yes.
suburb. Could this potentially be a product that could be marketed to individuals in the future?
Yes.
Interesting.
I will leave this up to the powers that be.
That's Captain Gary Beck. Thank you for joining us today. Traden Generating Systems. I look forward to the future.